Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to our Tech. Hope you're all having a great day. Now, this is the Galaxy Watch Active 2, and for the right group of people, it might be a great piece of technology to have. Let me tell you why. The packaging is pretty simple and straightforward. You get the watch, the wireless charger, and your usual paperwork. Watch Active 2 comes in either steel or an aluminium body. This is the aluminium version, and it has three color variants. This is the Aqua Black. So the Aqua Black, as the name suggests, has a slight bluish tinge to it. This continues along the strap too. Talking about this strap is a kind of a unique strap because it loops back into the other side of the strap rather than staying out and being held by other loops. I think this is better for a sports watch because it keeps it from randomly moving around during rigorous movement. So that's a good thumbs up from me. Another unique thing about this watch is the touch bezel. So in the Galaxy Watch Active, there was actually no bezel because the Galaxy watches have a physical bezel that you can turn around to navigate the watch. The Watch Active removed the bezel and you could only navigate through the touchscreen. Galaxy Watch Active 2 takes a new approach on that and it has a touch bezel. So there's no physical bezel, but there's an area where basically you touch and interact with the watch and it acts just like a physical bezel is there. Now, inside your touch bezel, we have the display. So this is a 340 by 340 AMOLED panel, and it's a good display, just like any other Samsung display. And it has an ambient light sensor built into it, so you have auto brightness just like your phone. And it is protected by Gorilla Glass DX Plus, which is basically Gorilla Glass for watches. Now, the thing that you'll probably be seeing most on your display are watch faces. So right out of the box, Samsung is giving you quite a lot of watch faces already pre-built into the watch, and in case you don't find anything that matches your preference, you can customize them further, and even if that doesn't suit you, you can go ahead and choose a third-party app that's available in the Galaxy Wearable app. So some are paid, some are free, but definitely you can find something you like. There's also watch always on, so where the watch keeps a minimal or simple looking watch face of what you've chosen, a more minimal version of it on always. It does take on some battery, but in case you want to flaunt it or in case you just want the watch always on, you can have it like that. Now talking about the battery, this watch has a 340 milliamp hour battery. So the number doesn't sound huge, but it'll last more than a day easily for me, and it usually takes around 1 to 2 hours from getting it from a really low range from about 10 to 15 to 100. But I don't do that, and you can probably find a slot that fits you where you charge it from around 15 to 20% to more than 50%, and it will last the day. Cycle go on again from the next day. The battery is not the best out there, and it's one of the features that's actually a bit lacking in the watch, but it'll do the job. And for the features this watch has, for the number of features it does, the battery is pretty decent in my opinion. Now, let's talk about those features that I was mentioning. And since it's a smartwatch, it definitely has to have a smart part in it. So, talking about the smart features of the watch, this watch runs on Bluetooth 5.0 and Tizen OS, which is Samsung's own watch OS. So when your watch is connected via Bluetooth to your phone is when it unleashes all its capabilities. You can do numerous things such as control your smart home devices through the Smart Things app if you use Smart Things. Otherwise, you'll have to start using Smart Things and enable the smart devices through Smart Things, and then you can control it through your watch. You can have many third-party applications like the Google Assistant or something like navigation or anything like that on your phone, on your watch, or even like a wrist camera controlling app such as where it will show you what you're seeing through your actually phone camera, and you can use it as a shutter button or anything like that. And there are other things already inbuilt to the watch such as Bixby. So Bixby, I don't find myself using it in any other Samsung appliance. Bixby is basically Samsung's own personal assistant, but in the watch it's pretty good. It recognizes what you say pretty good, and basic commands such as suppose turn on some light or set a reminder or set a timer, all those basic commands it will do. And you can also use some other features already built into the UI such as a torch light, suppose in a watch in your wrist, where the whole screen turns white and it's actually quite bright. So it acts as a torchlight already on your wrist. So that's pretty handy. And there are also some other UI features like the phone or the messaging, where when you get some notifications or you want to call someone through your watch, you can do it directly through your watch. And the call quality is surprisingly great. The microphone and the speaker are clear and crisp, and they sound just as good as your phone will probably. So the watch call quality is also great, and you can reply to any text message through quick responses already built into the watch, or you can edit those quick responses on your own, or you can reply through emojis or from speech to text applications available on the watch. And there are a lot more small things that are there in the UI, suppose such as when you have an analog watch face, like a normal watch face, but you'll see in a normal watch, not a digital watch face, then the ticking sound of the second hand can actually be heard through the speaker. So that's a really nice small touch to it. And the haptics too, the response from the watch and the haptics too are great. So the haptic motor is the main method that the watch communicates back to you with all the actions you do to the watch. So even when in alarms, the sound and the haptics come together to wake you up, like it just taps you to wake up. So the haptic motor in all those situations is great. Doesn't feel like some cheap haptic motor. It feels quite premium and gives short and precise vibrations. So when there's a good haptic motor, I always appreciate that, and this is great too. And the fitness area, this watch again is the Galaxy Watch Active 2. So it does pretty well and it stands up to the name too. It has 7 auto tracking workout modes and numerous other workout modes. But before that, Samsung has added and improved the existing sensors in this. So all the tracking and all the insights it provides you on your heart rate and things like that are much more accurate and much more reliable, I would say. So the heart rate and the sleep tracking, which you'll probably find on probably most premium smartwatches, so it's up to the mark. Sleep tracking, I can't compare it, but so far it's been fine for me and it tracks the sleep well. So it shows you, it has a few zones where it shows you which zone you are sleeping in based on your movement and your heart rate. So that is pretty good. And your heart rate, you can set it to continuously track for the whole day, suppose in 30-minute intervals or 10-minute intervals, or when you are doing a specific activity or when it senses movement. It also gives you notifications when it thinks you are sitting in a place for too long. It tells you to get moving or try a stretch and things like that. So in the overall basic health department, it's pretty good. Now when you're coming to actually working out or doing an exercise, there are 7 auto tracking workout modes, including running, walking, cycling, and many more. So the auto tracking too is great with the new sensors. So when you are starting to do an exercise, from when you're doing the exercise for about 5 to 10 minutes, it will start auto recording it, and it will start recording it after the auto track kicks in. So you won't lose that 10 minutes of activity. It will just tell you it's recording after that 10 minutes, but it would have already started recording before that 10 minutes itself. So the auto tracking is also great. The thing is, it's only limited to 7. So based on your hand movement is what it matters. So in the future, they'll probably bring in a lot more exercises that can be auto tracked. But so far, the auto tracking has been great. Now talking about the other exercises that you can track manually, there are 40 exercises that you can track manually, and the exercises that include your hand movement, such as a deadlift or something like a bicep curl, you can count through repetitions in sets, and there'll be a voice assistant that helps you, and you don't need to worry about counting them, so you can focus more on your exercise. The ones that don't include your hand will just calculate it through the time and your heart rate. Even your heart rate, when it's being tracked, there are certain zones where it will tell you your heart rate was in this zone and provide you insights on that. The step tracking too is just like any other watch, and the improved sensors just make it easier and more reliable, as I said. So the step tracking too is pretty good, and the overall in the health department, Samsung probably nailed it. And even after a year of its launch, the hardware doesn't seem like there's something missing in it, and it feels the same. It feels like it's the same premium watch that it was. And in the smartwatch department, the hardware actually doesn't go as fast as the smartphone department, so you won't be losing out on some huge feature. That might be small tweaks and things like that, but it's definitely not a compromise. So far, these have been my experiences, and it's been a great watch to use. Only thing is, the battery sometimes may die or may be less compared to other smartwatches out there, but that might not be that's just one thing when that it doesn't do so well. There are a lot of things it does well, like the smart part of it. There are a few watches that just say they are smartwatches and don't do justice to that. This is not like that. It has quite a lot of smart features in it, and has actually reduced me reaching to my phone to do some basic things like turn on a light or just reply to a small text message or anything like that. So it's definitely useful, and especially if you're a Samsung user or you're already into the Samsung ecosystem, this will definitely fit right in. If or even if you're just an Android user, there's no problem with it. And if you can afford the price, and if it's in your price range, because this costs more than 20,000 rupees, and the price is fluctuating depending on on where you are and on what time of the year it is. So the prices dropped down quite a bit from around 26,000. So but the hardware is still quite good, and for me the overall experience has been great. So those are my thoughts on the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. Hope it was helpful for you guys, and hope you could find something out of it. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. It's a great support for me. With that being said, my name is Ravi Naman. This is our tech. Thank you for watching.